Girlies hit me up because the homie is famous. Girlies hit me up because the homie is.
People, I have a question that might strike people some the wrong way, but hey, it's Turnt For No Reason. We don't care. Why is it acceptable for everyone else in this world to be rich besides pastors? Why is it when a pastor is rich, he's obviously stealing from his church, he's taking advantage of his community, and he's just a terrible person? Why is that?
Oh man, I mean, honestly, man, like there are so many answers to that, because on the flip side, there are people who actually are doing stuff like that, who are actually stealing. Yes, so it's just like, you know, there are, so I can't speak on behalf of those people, because like those people, yeah, they're wrong. But you know, I think people have this attitude about money, period. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think it's like so much of a pastor thing, but like people just have this weird idea or ideology when it comes to money. Like, you know, like you wanting wealth is a bad thing. You know, it's just like, you ever notice that?
It's a thing with what I've seen with Pastor John Gray. Now, I've watched a lot of his sermons and, you know, stuff like that. And how the way his life is set up, I'm not surprised that he's wealthy. You know what I mean? He's wrote books. He's preached in front of arenas. Like, you know, I'm not surprised that he's wealthy. But people who are not that much onto him, when they see him buy his wife I want to say $200,000 Ferrari, they're all like, "Oh, he's stealing. He has to be." See, the church is a business. I'm like, is it because of the title? Because he's a pastor? Because if he was just an everyday person, we wouldn't even care.
Of course no one would care, because the thing is, it's just like, I mean, here's the thing, like, people always want to like go back to the whole money is the root of all evil. They're just like, oh yeah, it's in the Bible, but it's just like, well, if you actually like read the Bible, then it's just like, it's actually the love of money. You know what I'm saying? Because exactly. Like, you know, when you do something for the love of money, you know, I've seen some very good people do some very corrupt things in the name of money. And that is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Having money has nothing to do with it, because if that was the case, then you and I would be evil, the listeners would be evil, because we go to a 9 to 5 for what? Money. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, I think that, you know, we kind of need to get rid of this whole, like, you know, well, you have to struggle in the name of the Lord. Like, no, that's
like,
no,
that's a great thing, because when I went to one of my conferences, like with my church, that's what they were talking about. He's like, the pastor was really telling us, like, you don't have to be broke serving the Lord. Like, you don't have to. It's like, you can have your house, you can have your business. You don't have to be broke.
Yeah, because people acting like, you know, if you have like $8 in the account, and you know, and like you're about to get your car repossessed and stuff like that, it's just like that, you know, oh, you're making God proud. But if you were to get yourself a brand new car paid off, then that's bad. That's a devil thing. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know who came up with that. It's just like
another thing with that, bro, is when they were talking about, I seen a person comment. Imagine you catching the bus, but your pastor's driving a Ferrari. So my thought was instantly is, imagine you going to a concert, catching the bus, and that same artist is leaving in a Ferrari. Is that a problem?
Obviously not for everyone else, because like we have no issue letting, you know, Beyonce and the Kanyes and the LeBron James of the world, you know what I'm saying? It's just
people
like, you know,
who we love.
Yeah, exactly. Have that type of stuff. And it's just like, you have to also think, it's just like, all right, I know a lot of people probably think like, oh, well, you know, like, you know, pastors getting jets and stuff like that. My question, because it is there is a slight possibility, but I don't believe that, because like the same people who have these jets tell them, okay, prosperity, you know, this is what, you know, these are the, you know, kind of like the tools. You give them the tools about this, you know what I'm saying? You teach messages on prosperity, and so how people can understand that it's okay to have money. Because, you know, you look at someone like, you know, I know a lot of people like instantly think of like Creflo, for example. I've heard Creflo stuff, and It's the exact opposite of what people say he is. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if anything is like...
Because I was guilty of that too. I wasn't like on Creflo. My mom used to watch him a lot, but I wasn't on him. So when he asked for that thing, I'm like, what do you need that for?
Exactly.
Get out of here. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think that's just a naturally programmed thing in everyone's
mind. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like that just having it, period, is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, you watch someone like Creflo, and his sermons are actually telling people, you know what I'm saying, that, there's nothing wrong with having wealth. And he's telling people that, man, I could go like hours in talking about like what he's talking about, because it's nothing that's out of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but on the flip side, I've seen people get mad on Kim Kardashian's Instagram page with her in this big old jet, and they're just like, why does she feel like she has the need to show that to everybody?
Because she worked for it.
Yeah, so I don't even think it's a pastor thing at this point. I think people just get so mad at the fact that it's just like,
it just irritates me, bro. Because like, maybe it's just because people are not into stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm like, why are you like, why are we allowing this to happen? But this is terrible. You know what I mean? Like, our pastors are human. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna make mistakes. Like, I love my pastors, and they still work 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah.
Do I wish they was rich? Hell yeah.
Of course.
Because they would provide for us first, for the church first, for the people in the church. They're providing for the people in the church now, and they don't have $1 million. So I know if they did, I know what they would do with it. Well, on top of providing for the community.
I think a lot of that, unfortunately, it just boils down to people just consider them like characters in a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, any public figure, they could be an athlete, they could be a pastor, it doesn't really matter who they are. To the average Joe, they're a character in a movie, which means that they can be treated however they want. They can be put unfair expectations. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they feel like, is like they're going to say to them, and then God forbid that they say anything in return, because then they're going to be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had people just like, you supposed to be saved. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm saved, but I don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like me believing in something has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that you trifling. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what me and God got going on. Those had nothing to do with you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So people, and the thing is, like, people want to, go back to like, oh, the church is a business. People, I want you to go out to the grocery store, go to Target, get $500 worth of groceries, and try to walk out of there without paying for it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you're gonna start saying that this is a business, then you have to bring it back to everything that you go to. You know what I'm saying? Because you just can't walk in and just do something for free. Everything costs money. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not to say that there are some people, and the thing is, it's not just churches, bruh. Didn't the Clintons steal a bunch of money that was supposed to go to the Haiti? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, man. It's just like, people, like, we get so, you know what I'm saying? We get so selective. You know what I'm saying? It's just like only this person and this person and then this person. No. You know what I'm saying? Being broke doesn't mean that you're being humble in the name of the Lord. It doesn't.
And the thing about the church is, like, they don't put a gun up to nobody's head and say, hey, give me your money. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
of course.
Yo, if you have this faith, if you're testing your faith, let me see what you can do. This week, I tested my faith. It's something I've been praying for a long time. Guess what? I got that phone call that same day.
Congratulations. See?
You know what I mean? Like,
faith.
Like, I didn't even want to give what I gave, but
yeah,
I got that phone call and I was like, yo, that's crazy.
It's one of those things, man. When you test your faith and you put it all out on the line, man, then you're going to receive blessing in return.
Like when I tested my faith, I don't care about what they doing with that. It's not about the money. It's about,
of course,
what can I give to him? You know what I'm saying?
And like you said before, the same, like, like the church is not going to force people to give.
Not one
You know what I'm
bit.
saying? Because, but I mean, but at the same time, but not the same time. Like I said before, you go to a grocery store and you don't pay the money.
You can't watch movies on Netflix without paying
Exactly.
money.
You can't pay what you can't watch movies on Netflix.
Exactly.
Go to a restaurant, order like a bunch of food, and then talk about, nah, I don't feel like paying.
Right.
You're probably gonna leave in a cop car that day. You know what I'm saying?
You're
It's
probably
just
not
like,
even going to make it home.
exactly. So it's just like, you know, I mean, I don't agree with that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And I've had disagreements with people, you know, about that, where they're just like, oh, well, you know, this person owns this much money, this person owns this much money, and da 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 da. And then I was just like, oh, okay, so I believe in the same thing that that person believes in, so is it wrong for me to have money? You know what I'm saying? And then they don't say anything, and I'm just like, okay, so what's you know, what's the difference? So it's just like, you know,
I just tell people all the time, man, be careful.
yeah, of course, you know,
be careful, you know, like just don't have an ignorant way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to give nothing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there are some pastors that ask for something crazy, like, if you love this word and you put faith on this word, give us $1,000. And you like, well, I don't have it, so
yeah. But the thing is,
you know what I
it's
mean?
like,
That don't make it no worse of what he was talking about.
yeah, that's the thing. It's just like the level of how much you spend, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
You
you
know what I'm
can't buy
saying?
a blessing.
Exactly. So it's just like, you know, like a person like with $2 million donating it versus a person who has $2 donating it, that doesn't make one better than the other. You know what I'm saying?
God don't be like, yo, them 2 million, like,
exactly, because you know what, like, if your heart is in the wrong place when you give, it's just like, you know, there's really no point. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, there are people who had absolutely nothing to offer, and they gave, you know, a small, yeah, they gave as small as $5.
My grandma is a perfect example of always giving. Like, she was one of them old ladies that, like, I used to get so embarrassed when she made me do this, but the pastor be like, anybody in here, I got $100. I need 5 people with $100, right? After you preaching. So she'd be like, stand up. And I'm like, I don't have $100 to give nobody. It's like, she like, stand up, we giving. And one thing I never seen my grandma, she never went without. You know what I mean? Anything I ever asked for, she ain't never tell me no. Same as my grandfather. It was just something about, even, and they didn't have the best jobs, you know what I mean? They wasn't making millions. They just never went without. Bills always paid. Bills always kept. Always the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, we always never went without. And I wonder why.
Girlies hit me up because the homie is famous. Girlies hit me up because the homie is Girlies hit me up because the homie is famous. Girlies hit me up because the famous homie.